Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 16 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Gonna use Enosh's team for a little bit more. As I mentioned, I am still trying to get a new team in-game, but have not had much free time to really train the Pokemon up because of my internship this week. This is my first full week, so like I said, still really trying to balance it out and figure out when I have free time for Pokemon and for videos and whatnot. So hope you guys don't mind me using the team a little bit more, and I think probably by the end of the weekend I should be able to get a new team for next Monday. So I'm gonna say expect a new team by then, and it should be a fun time. We're just gonna look for our first game of today's episode. If you've not seen the last two episodes, definitely check them out. I think the one yesterday went up pretty late, so you might have missed it. I'll link that in the description below. The Road to Rank playlist for VGC 2016 is also completely updated, so you can watch all the uploads all together. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, I am doing my best to keep it up with the daily uploads once again. And as always, if you enjoy Road to Rank, please share your support by leaving a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. So we're just going to look for our first opponent and see who we can find. And if you don't follow Enosh on Twitter, definitely go give him a follow. It's in the description below. That's Enosh, E-N-O-S-H. His last name, S-H-A-C-H-A-R. Feels like I'm repeating myself a lot of these introductions, but we're going to find Zach from North Carolina with a rating of 1581 to kick off the first game. Zach here is going to be rocking a team of Kyogre, Groudon, Cresselia, Smeargle, Mawile, and Salamence. So another dual primal team, but this one doesn't have Thundurus. 5 of the 6 same Pokemon that I had when I won regionals with dual primals back in February. But this time we do see the Cresselia here instead of the Bronzong, which is a pretty strong call. Cresselia definitely being the more dominant Trick Room user right now with dual primals, and a very common Pokemon in the format in general. So let's see. I mean, the Mawile here is an interesting pick because, normally it's Kangaskhan and Salamence, but, Salamence, Mawile was a very strong combination. Still is, but now on dual primals, you don't see Mawile nearly as often. Weavile's still not a bad lead. And Kangaskhan to get a power-up punch would be huge, but my goal in this game might be to deny Trick Room, or it could be like, okay, if you set up Trick Room, I can bring in Ferrothorn. So I think Ferrothorn's definitely a Pokemon I want to bring because it takes advantage of the Kyogre, Cresselia, Mawile matchup. Definitely going to want Ferrothorn, and if I can eliminate the Groudon, that would make it really easy for Ferrothorn. Could see something like a Cress Salamence lead. I think I'm going to go with Kangaskhan and Groudon, with Ferrothorn and Rayquaza in the back. And the reason why I'm going with Groudon here is, sure, my opponent does have a Kyogre, but, by leading Kangaskhan Groudon, a lot of the times that instantly puts the pressure on your opponent to switch into Kyogre. If that's the case, then I can just switch out into Ferrothorn by predicting the Kyogre switch in and pivot myself into a better position. The Mega Evolution of choice here will be interesting. If I were my opponent, I would probably want to bring Mawile because it does have a better matchup against Kang. Yeah, I didn't bring Weavile, so if he does end up bringing Mence, which I think we might see, I'll feel a little bit sad, but gonna go with Kangaskhan and Groudon here, as we are gonna see Salamence and Smeargle. So yeah, Weavile definitely would have been a pretty solid pick here, but unfortunately not the case. Still not the worst lead matchup, but I don't know what item the Smeargle has, which is the first scary thing. The second scary thing is, this first turn is already a lot of mind games, because you have to ask, okay, does he go for a King Shield / a Spiky Shield with Smeargle, or does he just go for an attack? Because both are definitely possible. If I had HP Ice, that'd be really cool. Salamence also could have Tailwind, so one play my opponent could make is go for a Protect with Salamence, or sorry, a King Shield / Spiky Shield with Smeargle and Tailwind with Salamence. That would be kind of bad. So I feel like my safest play is to... No, it's not really my safest play. I think I'm going to Power-Up Punch Smeargle here and Eruption. I mean, worst case, he King Shields, or King Shields would be worse than Spiky Shield, and maybe gets a Tailwind up, but then I do get an Eruption. This should do over 50% to Mence. He doesn't switch out here, which is also good. So now it's a question of, is he going to go for Spiky / King Shield, or is he just going to go for a Dark Void, thinking he could survive. And nice, he just does attack here, and we don't see a Scarf come out either. I hope Power Up Punch plus Eruption is enough to knock it out. That should be, yeah, nice. So, the Smeargle on these kind of teams typically are EV to survive a -1 Double Edge. And I figured he might expect me to maybe just try to Double Edge expecting a knockout, but obviously having run this team, a very similar combination, back when I won regionals, I kind of know what to expect. So that ends up being a not the perfect turn one, but there wasn't much more I could have done. Now he can't go for a Trick Room at any point. Or excuse me, not Trick Room, a Dark Void. But the Crest pick here is pretty interesting because it indicates my opponent did not bring one of the primals, which I'm totally okay with here. Salamence is going to want a Double Edge. If I had Sucker Punch, that would be really nice here because I could Sucker Punch and like Thunderbolt. Alas, that's not the case, but that's okay. I think I'm actually just going to go for the Double Edge onto Crest and go for a Thunderbolt onto Salamence. And he's going to Double Edge probably into Kangaskhan. Yep. That does pick up the knockout, but I'm fine here because I get a free switch in now. And he's not going to be able to do very much. I might actually even knock out Salamence with Thunderbolt. Let's see. That'd be nice. Close, but no cigar. Trick Room actually goes up, which is exactly what I was also hoping for. Because now I get to bring in my Rayquaza. I'm really hoping my opponent's last Pokemon's Kyogre, because if that's the case, Ferrothorn just wins. But, even if it's not Rayquaza, it's fine. I mean, sorry, Kyogre. So let's see. He could Icy win me, but I'm okay with that. Groudon's faster. I mean, your play here could be to protect Mence and try to get an attack off with Crest. Yeah, I feel like my safest play is to just Dragon Ascent and Eruption here. He does protect Mence, but that's fine because I can survive an Ice Beam obviously with the Assault Vest. And I get some chip damage with Eruption as well. Oh, is he reversing Trick Room? As Groudon outspeeds Crest, indicating it's going to be attacking... yeah, he is reversing Trick Room here. That's interesting. I like that play a lot, though. But now I can go for an Extreme Speed. And I guess I'll just Eruption again. Although, now you can actually set up Trick Room again with Crest. I mean, if the last one's Kyogre, then I definitely win this one. But I think it's going to be Groudon, which is kind of bad. So I do eliminate Mence. And I think we're going to see another Trick Room, which would be a smart play. Oh no, he actually just Ice Beams. Okay, that's fine by me. Survive with under 50%. Oh my god, you're kidding me. He freezes me, and freeze counts because I have Airlock, so I don't have the Sun up technically. Unless the last one's Kyogre, then I still win, but I think it's going to be Groudon. That is so demoralizing. Because then I could just Waterfall. Yeah, it's going to be Groudon. Still not over, but all my opponent has to do is protect and Trick Room here. Unless he somehow messes up, or I unthaw. Unthawing would be very nice. I'm gonna Dragon Ascent and Earth Power. Yeah, he is gonna be smart and protect Groudon though. Come on. Earth Power goes into, and he's gonna Trick Room. Unbelievable. Because if I wasn't frozen there, then my play is to just Dragon Ascent and Eruption to guarantee a knockout onto Crest, and regardless of what Groudon does, I win the game. That really sucks, man. Now you probably have Gravity. But I'm gonna protect here. Actually, no, you just Ice Beam. Freeze is the worst status in the game, man. Yeah, there's the Gravity. Yeah. You know, I can't say much. Like, I feel like I played almost as well as I could have. I mean, sacrificing Kangaskhan there probably could have, like, was bad. Like, I could have switched Kangaskhan out that turn, but I was willing to take that trade-off. But, yeah, I really think if he didn't get the freeze, I had the game locked up for sure. So, that really does suck, but it is what it is. Here, you definitely just Precipice Blades again. I have the hope somehow, for some reason, he goes for a Fire-type attack. That's my one way of winning this game. But at this point, you have the game security for my opponent. He skill swapped onto... Okay. I mean, I guess you get rid of the Iron Barbs. But yeah, my opponent's going to be smart. He's going to Precipice Blaze Groudon here. It's going to be game. That really sucks, man. Feels bad. But, I mean, it's one of those games where I win 90% of the time. Like, as long as he doesn't freeze there, I win. So, can't complain too much. But now you just go for a Fire-type attack. And the reason why I didn't do anything with Fire Thorn there is because Power Whip, even with the crits, not KOing Groudon. So, my only chance is somehow, for some reason, he goes for a Fire-type attack onto Fire Thorn. But yeah, so that's the one time Airlock has worked against me, as he has Overheat on Groudon. That's kind of cool to see. Because if the sun is up, you can't get frozen, but Airlock negates that sun effect. So I ended up getting frozen. I think freeze is one of the biggest things they should change for Gen 6, because we haven't seen any changes really, and freeze has stolen a lot of big sets in VGC. So you know, that wasn't a terrible case of freeze. Like, it was a game where, I don't know, it's like, yeah, I got frozen, but I mean, my opponent still played pretty well, especially with the reversing his own Trick Room. Like, that was a really nice play. But yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit demoralizing, but it is what it is. Let's just try to recover in the next game. Other than that, I mean, yeah, I feel like turn 1 played out almost as... Yeah, I mean, it was basically perfect, right? Because there was nothing else I could have done, given that I was expecting Salamence and Smeargle to both attack. So, eliminating both of those. Next turn, I guess the play I should have made was protecting Kangaskhan. The reason why I didn't protect her was because I was like, okay, he might double edge Groudon, expecting a protect, although, I mean, I guess you don't really expect protect after that. So if I protected Kangaskhan there and my opponent set up Trick Room, then I think I had just the game locked up. So, you know, that was probably a play I could have done better, even though I was making the safest plays, knowing I had such a big advantage, and knowing that Rayquaza in the back could win me the game. But, you know, I should have played knowing that a freeze could have happened, so definitely sucks. But also was expecting Icy Wind, not Ice Beam on Crest, since we do see Icy Wind way more often now. But on that kind of team, it makes sense that it's Ice Beam. But my opponent here is going to have a team of Xerneas, Groudon, Kangaskhan, Weavile, Talonflame, and Smeargle. So, big 6 here, but no Crest, nor Mence. Instead, we get Weavile and another Smeargle. We were able to take care of Smeargle relatively easily last game. Not sure if that will be as easy this time around. Probably going to go with a Kangaskhan here, but really scared of the dual Fake Out option that my opponent has. Kangaskhan, Groudon. I like that once again. Ferrothorn in the back, because I need that for Kangaskhan and for Xerneas. And for the last one, I feel like Rayquaza is still the best. Alright, so let's lock in, and yeah. I mean, that last game was frustrating. I hate it when, like, the game's like, okay, as long as I don't get frozen here, should be good, and then you get frozen. But that's Pokemon in a nutshell. Can't really complain. Like I said, I could have made a better play or two there as well. So let's try to just win this next one. We're going to see Talonflame and Weavile come out here, which I would say is probably more in my favor, because I get the turn 1 pressure with the Power-Up Punch and an Eruption. Do I want to do that? I could Fake Out Talonflame. Talonflame here is probably going to want a Tailwind. Yeah. Well, with these two, we know it's probably going to be Xerneas and Groudon on the back. I'd be very surprised if it weren't. So, I'm actually, yeah, just going to go straight for a Power-Up Punch and an Eruption. This is a kind of passive... I mean, actually, if he has Low Kick on Weavile, that would be really good. Otherwise, you know, you can damage with my Pokemon, and you could also Flare Blitz, I guess. Although I don't think that should knock me out. Maybe, though, with the Sun and the Life Orb. I'm not going to Fake Out here, because he could Quick Guard. He's going to Fake me out. Going to Fake Out Groudon, okay. Is Talonflame going for a Tailwind? Does he Life Orb, too? Yeah, he does Tailwind, okay. So this is interesting, because I'll knock out Weavile, and Kangaskhan's obviously sitting at +2, so, or +1. Actually, it is going to be +2. So there is some pressure for my opponent to knock out the Kangaskhan. Sure, you get a free switching into Groudon or Xerneas, but I'm still in a pretty okay position. Although Talonflame's obviously Pokemon I want to eliminate, because Ferrothorn's my answer to Xerneas. But I don't think you switch in Xerneas here. I think you should switch in the Groudon. Although that also makes this... Oh, wow, he didn't even bring... He brought Smeargle. Very interesting. So I could just double protect here. But I'm not sure if that's actually the play. I don't think it's a play. Because that does give him to Dark Void and switch, and if I double protect, then he gets a free switch in. So I'm actually going to go straight for an attack here. Sure. Do I want an eruption? Sure. He does switch, okay. So now it's, does he connect with the Dark Voids? And he brought Xerneas, wow. I mean, that's nice because I do have the Ferrothor in the back, and there's no Groudon to go up against. But obviously, I still have to do a Talonflame. He does go for Dark Void. It's going to hit at least one of my two. Let's see if it connects with both. It does. Okay. Okay. But, he still has to go for a Geomancy setup. Please no evasion. Defense, it's not as bad. Okay, evasion decreases. That's good. So he probably wants a Geomancy here. I'm going to just go for a double edge. You're probably going to want to follow me if you're Smeargle, but if you don't, you know, I can punish it. Since I do have Thunderbolt, that's also a big deal because, yeah, he's going to follow me. That's fine. Come on, can we wake up? And do you see Geomancy? Okay. I'm hoping at least one of the two can wake up. Kangaskhan waking up would be better. Let's see. It's not a good day. Double Dark Void Connect, 2 2-turn sleeps. I mean, we could take 2 3-turn sleeps. And another defense increase, meaning you can actually now survive a double edge. Well, we'll probably see a Moonblast now. So I'm going to protect to try to avoid that at least and get an eruption off. It's been a kind of frustrating day in terms of the RNG, but I did get a little bit lucky in the last episode, so I guess that's evening it up there, but really would like a win here because that last game was so frustrating. Come on! He does Wide Guard, that's a good play. And he Moonblasts. I'm just expecting Groudon to take a 3rd turn of sleep here. It'd only be appropriate. The odds of that. Connecting double Dark Void and then 3... And a speed increase! Come on! Oh my gosh. Okay. How do I even win? It's not impossible, but... I guess the speed increases helps me, because now he's forced to Dark Void and Groudon gets to wake up. Let's see. Oh, Gyro Ball and actually Thunderbolt in case he switches out to Talonflame. Oh, he doesn't switch, but that's okay. And Dark Void doesn't miss. Although I do have a chance of waking up now next turn with Ferrothorn. But knowing how this game has gone so far, probably won't happen. Paralysis would have been nice there. This is where the speed increase hurts now, because if I were faster, then I could just knock him out. And he gets an evasion increase. Oh. It's funny, 2 days ago, like, the episode was RNGesus Please, but this is actually RNGesus Please. See, here's an interesting thing, though, right? Because now you can't Dark Void and follow me. So the question is, what play do you make? I'm gonna Gyro Ball and Eruption. He's going for the Void, so if Ferrothorn, unless he has HP Fire, Xerneas, and if that's the case, I just give up. And he's just Dazzling Gleaming. Okay, okay. Oh my god, that does so much. Take a turn to sleep. I don't even know what to say on this one. I don't think this is a game that, like, I really could have done much more in. Unbelievable. Now you follow me with... Yeah, I can't win now. It's over. Should have protected Groudon there at least, I guess. But I was like, okay, if he goes for the follow me play and I get the Eruption and Gyro Ball, then I just win the game. And if he Dark Voids, I still have a good chance. But not when your opponent hits every single Dark Void and you can't... I've literally taken max turns of sleep thus far. I mean, now you just follow me. Unless some reason he messes up. I can't win this one though, I don't think. Come on. I think I've literally got it in... Yeah, I mean... Yeah, that's 2 turns sleep on Groudon now. Ferrothorn's taking 2 turns, so if Ferrothorn takes another turn of sleep here, then I literally had like 0 chance to wake up. I just got Smeargled so dang hard. It would have been appropriate if I woke up and I missed that. I mean, the game's over now. Unless, I don't know. I don't even know how. I can't survive that Dazzling Gleam even with the Assault Vest. Unbelievable. I mean, right, that's one of the things when you face against Smeargle. Obviously, it's better if you have surefire counters like Safeguard or Lumberry or Chesto Berry, something of the sorts, but most of the times you can play assuming that it's not going to hit every Dark Void, you're not going to take 3 turn sleeps consistently, but this is one of the rare games where everything goes wrong, and yeah, that basically just happened. I guess I'll just Gyro Ball in extreme speed here. At least I connect with the extreme speed, but all you have to do is Moonblast either Pokemon and you win. Unless you Moonblast Ferrothorn and you somehow don't knock me out, or Dazzling Gleam, don't knock out Ferrothorn and Gyro Ball knocks it out. Or, sorry, Rayquaza. If I did Sash there, I actually could have won, but obviously this is Assault Vest. Yeah, so Talonflame in the back is obviously going to clean things up. Yeah, Gyro Ball wasn't a knockout anyway, so... maybe the sleep in the latter end didn't really matter as much. Like if I protected with Groudon maybe, but yeah, that's speed increase too, just adding insult to injury, because I'm still in an okay position. This is a particularly frustrating game because Groudon Ferrothorn deals with my opponent's team perfectly, especially after I eliminated Weavile turn 1. But, I mean, that's not to take credit away from my opponent. This just is like one of the I mean, like, that's why it's better to have surefire counters to Smeargle. I mean, Kangaskhan's typically a pretty good answer. But, yeah, I mean, just not being able to wake up with anything really kind of sucks. And, yeah, I mean, the chance of Dark Void double connecting is, what, around, like, 64%, and then to wake up, you have a third chance of waking up every turn. 3 turn sleeps statistically are, you know, rare. So, that's definitely frustrating. But, I mean, yeah, hopefully I got all my bad luck out in this episode, because after that first game, I was like, okay, that was only one instance of bad RNG, and then Smeargle did Smeargle things. I can't exactly say I'm disappointed in how I played, because I feel like I played okay for the most part in both games, like maybe 1 or 2 better plays here and there, but there's really not much you can do when a Smeargle's, you know, connecting every Dark Void, and it's max speed, and you can't, you know, wake up to save your life. And in that first game, like I said, I could have protected Kangaskhan, but at the end of the day, it's one of the games where, you know, sometimes things just happen, and, I mean, it's good to reflect. It's still, like, that's why, you know, the Big 6 core, really Smeargle in general, is so feared, because you can pull wins like that. And that's why Dark Void's such a darn good move. But, yeah, hopefully I can get a rematch against those opponents sometime, because I feel like, I still played pretty well, and I made okay plays, and, you know, just some RNG came to bite me. But, you know, that's not to take away credit from them, because they obviously made the right plays, and they did what they had to win the game. Especially my first opponent making some really cool plays by setting up Trick Room and then reversing it to bait the attack. Just kind of sucks how things ended up happening. But great games to both of my opponents. That's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.